Be the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Information a PA from Ndra ne ene anopa ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekopie mu ewo Bono region. Chairman Kwame Abronye region na oshase ewo Banda constituency. Yede ehon videos ne conversations nkomo apie free hono aba. Inti na nkrofo bebre expect say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebetwa ni campaign no so ewo Bono region, but surprising turn of events, the African Star 40-day observance Koso Ewo University of Ghana Legon campus. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, movers and shakers of the new patriotic party political class, Omuna Amakako PMO Ewo 40-day observance nase. Na Utimu said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, even though Okwakochia ebusuya of the African Star, asi omo ya kono utimo se campaign bibi obeko bia na ering edino echi na yewo short video of how some nkrofo omo welcome Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nsem omo de to form ewo even funeral ground eye na say no change na no change the party say flag bearer omo ye no 2024 no enwa no mobile ombe maintaining, but ye kwa kopie mu wo oho ansa na ye the video no ayere ahase na yeah, apart from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kwa kopie mu ho no, His Excellency the former president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo Addo Show Boy enso ekopie mu ewe eye na say seated with Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. Utimo say sa relationship no war with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no very wonderful and strong. Even as former president, quite each and every time on His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo echi two man ewu eye na say na His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo ko chia Adwoa Safo, former member of parliament for Domi Kwabinya, one of Ghana's biggest constituencies in Ghana. Now, apart from that, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo ekopie mu ono so obi te say Hawa Kumsen, former member of parliament, Kaswa, nkofo friend Kaswa Van Dam, if Nsema so during the Ablekuma elections, ntokwa okunye ema the new patriotic party, or a very hardcore woman, ono so ekopie mu ewo a year no 40-day observance na say osanso ema Madam Hawa Kumsen awawa 2 ewo eye na say echie ebusuafo no ema ebusuafo no shedden ewo eye na say to sha many political persons and okopie mu ho. His Excellency former president the gentle giant John Ejekon Kufuor enso ekopie mu ewo eye na say now share. And as much as John Ejekon Kufuor wenni nimfie akwenim even nenanti akra hwan den no on ma nye an excuse adie bi aye very important bi the gentle giant ekopie mu ewase emasi nkofo kra na bi kokuru no kra ma wakoche a obema omo ekokuru no form of excuse. He is a wonderful magnificent man also ekopie mu. These are the pointer no ochia Adwoa Safo is unfortunate say nkofo bebre a block a camera, but this was the moment we share the gentle giant Nsa Echia, honorable former member of parliament for Domi Kwabinya constituency, Sarah Adwoa Safo Nsa. That the current parliamentary candidate for Domi Kwabinya, Michael Quay Jr. and so ekopie mu we yena se ekochie ebusuafo no ese omo yako to share a cordial relationship between the current member parliamentary candidate for Domi Kwabinya and a former member of parliament for Domi Kwabinya ongoing as omwere for the coming elections 2028. And your politicians and kwa and ekopie mu ho Nana Mike Brown omonso omakwako ade akopie mu ho akoche ebusuafo no ama yako. Now this was an interesting moment nkofo bebre na eden omo de radiase because rainbow bi epie mu in the skies and say a symbol of the awesomeness of the man African star Safo Kantanka himself. Tenankofo bebre edanyame asese saa senso de no echese oyinipa okopiem ewo osoro ahimem. This was the moment Acrobato and so echia Adrasafo. It's just wonderful said at a point in time or the Syria no ayede aba nenin even at family no omo morning. Professor LC Ifa Kaufman and so ekopiemu ewo 40-day observance that said until where many others are now kopiemu we na say yanko share a short video of how Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia welcoming na display say maintain Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the new patriotic park, even as already share the campaign across the 276 constituencies across the country. The year you could see an interesting conversation with former majority leader say Chairman Sabonso in response to some of the statements Gabi Ochredakon at the APM regarding the involvement of projects and called Asante Memoir or say Asante MPs. Yes, we are grateful for the Nanado Danko Kufado to me here for the Ashanti region. But former majority leader said in some kind and na no ne Gabi Ochredakon ayadri. Sankomono ekwa so ewo Lawson TV. In TV ne yehwe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia how am welcome na ne akoyede ekoti sankomono of former majority leader say Chairman Sabonso in response to Gabi Ochredakon efa the entire Ashanti region ekofo bebre na ankotoaba in the 2024 elections.
Say you Ashanti region you blame me abaya atwam say wanya kwan ni ade a blame MPs because the members of parliament of which you were part now mope if you like community roads as compared to those major roads I can once a minute. Na bra asem be to abonte no of course some of us you video ni be able free enti leader na de bia community road na ni abresa de bia ye ba video so na me kai way back from Angel akwan be brain na me no waka wansem times bi okra na nkaska no ye de koye way back ye de be ba ha ye de be I mean ye din ko akwan be brain. So I was asking questions even here anche any enti say Gabi na nkaza ba bontin a kire say the be a seminal tiasie ye mo babia no fira oba no ne se bra yi na ko school English pie but unya video no na wo hwa e confirm the earlier story and say na mo prefer community routes as compared to that major roads in the area. Meaning your answer to Gabi, I know you've answered him already, but yet you need some community area. I didn't think I prefer community roads.
Oh, question of you can weigh in preliminary remarks. Maybe a question of maybe I didn't think I prefer community roads. I conclude to say I can't say community roads. Yes, so yeah, I guess it's any hour many wedding come over the past 5 years.
Yeah,
it didn't come over efa yakwan and in cabinet, outside cabinet, maybe be brave.
96.3.
Na kuma say interchanges. And yeah, Kufado and Po and a chassis. President Kufuor time. And Dr. Anane as road minister. Obey exhibition be KTI.
Okay.
And obey unveil the development of Kumasi roads. Na inner ring road. eka beginning from Angoraka Junction. I'm so Angoraka Junction na carpenter for big go and a mark of wood to Moko Sokobai created a wood village there to free the space maybe interchanging. And the first interchange is all free in Cramba a ho Angoraka Junction Ufa Unifa Uba Fasobidu airport runabout. Supposed to be another interchange or airport runabout. What was Waba Swami? Another interchange. What was Wako Sufo line? Another interchange. Waba Santase runabout. Another interchange. Waba Georgia. Another interchange. Now could see a Hinsign. Now then you go back to Angoraka Junction. That is the inner ring road. These things what are that? Minim say come say mobile hey. I'm say bribi me bahana na meka mo monchen ha go station bia na mo
yes me what do you go
yes na because sad na cosmo very dangerous because there's a proposed interchange until say ko yes afi ye be interchange na ye ne then it has to be pulled down for compensation to be paid na me true until I made an issue out of it until I say Gabi echo jina baby say wabetrim say na say na walking me menya video ni bi ahwe if the video na de jamoa mutimi ye na bebre obe na bi a matwetwe baby asisi ani na ye doctor sente sa na nia omusho ni ye no credit na che say ne okan no sa no report ye I but in chemu de buy no person che say yes na okan no Ebiana, he has the full video. So, one the bar and a bit vindicating your work. Now, Unyam from my energy, none the icon of the Senamicano. I don't agree with him. Now, see, there was a meeting there now, no Gabi Unico, involving the whole cabinet, any regional ministers. Amobai.
Okay.
That's our meeting, and na Ashanti MPs in the caucus. Can say in Ashanti, no, can do say in develop. No, can say in Ashanti, no. Kwabri East, and the Maya in the greatest vote. Kwabri East is Zukwanaye Basa.
Yeah.
Baby to say Manson Quanta. Almost quite horrible. And then Odotobri. Only on the quiet. And so the pre-constituency, 1 inch of a tar road cranium. And I was me frail. Almost quite and yakra. And he spoke about these ones and say, I buy more than na sa a constituency rules. They were not to take the place of the interchanges and flyovers. They were not. Until home. Then you know, Sikano, MCB meeting in the be called boy, they be good as soon as tea. But nobody said, in your interchange, and Fanquest animal. Until can say, see in your interchange and Quest animal, Diana and Yanocre. Until the Munfa sa Asema Gabi Ekayana.
Now, on 1 year on Wakasana.
Oh, Debbie. That many parliament say, but I know he has written to Enyimedu. Enyimedu told me. And for day, as one in the kind of crowd, bring me. Enyimedu is the current chairperson of the Ashanti caucus in parliament. And the Omono Eba Bonting Ebe disagree with him. Say they were kind of correct. And I'm saying, no such crata at the command, no say, that's no cano. I think what in my media no crowd to publish. And now Enyimedu a copy of it.
96.3.
I think send a match was an meeting.
The common journey means Zebia is also one can. I was just say, what kind of woman him not one can?
It was a social, but you say
exactly.
Hey, you know, you're going to say, I'm going to my I said, super, you sample.
What's the Kayako? I think I got you're right. It's about 3 months to say Mobile contest. I call elected a flag bearer, believe the party.
Boston FM 96.3.
The general election 2028. And on shall we and I won't found to tell say on chere baby wujina from day 1 to today what chere baby wujina ama Ghana party ni nyina obi ehun say kamisa be kan doctor ni bio wujina and dey wa chere mo bi ehun whether one in the yard one in the yard what any position now say you share campaigner so far leading up to the elections now you share languages that are being used, personality attacks, and they said the name one so all put together. No, who is saying as opinion war party no movie no. They were campaigning because
Lawson FM.
Maybe I know be some assembly about the economy.
Yeah.
And I'll come to this issue.
Oh, sir.
Because now, maybe na no for see you kuma. No, I don't know bo
ECG for us
now I think senior high.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe just 5 minutes be about other sectors of the economy.
Okay.
Senior high, me know ya adwin say President Mahama abo modern say all twaso. And I was in Crawford say also be twem. Nyen Crawford na kan say, no na kan. And I know so you disagree with that.
Grow ready.
Yes.
Instead of saying
that wasn't Crawford. Yes. What was say can means when he says can on free senior high. There are other major sectors in the economy. Medicine is kind of go. If I can't know what you say. I won't continue. But I agree with you. Say, yeah, but trouble. I think about a month before he trouble. He took back his words and Okasu Oba, which is what he's doing now. And to that extent, commendable. But let's face it. You know what is happening? Your friend is saying, school placement team. Don't pretend you don't know. And then I say his school, no, basically, I buy cash and carry. And if I buy, schools. Which is bad. Yes, which is bad. Haruna Idrusu is my good friend. I want to believe, say, Haruna would not be part of this. In fact, I can almost take my neck out. Say, Haruna, I didn't onye. Or not as a person, onye. But, Nipa, I'm using the India animal also, a dozen. And two parents called me and said some of the Mumbai Air called Wesley girls. They had to pay 20,000. Wesley girls before they had admission.
Came.
A brief 17,000. You've heard of Prempe College, say been noted to 20,000.
I just can't wait.
And placement, you know. And I'm manipulative.
Okay.
Who enters the system?
Okay.
That's the danger. And I make us say, media, the Haruna Idrisu that I know, the minister, I want to believe, say, the minister will not engage himself in that. And you often into form, because near Kosono, and yet it's become like cash and carry.
I know he's your friend. Have you called him on this?
In fact, in fact, Saturday, no, nanka me kwe ebi mi fi dom passe nanka me kwa yi oswame na me ba me du patase secondary technical KSTS the traffic aja and then so we need dispatch intino force we could do so for line
okay
and then honunya baby emfa they had to return na nra me kotwa sam ka say nyumra na mete maybe dano and na metis asem no and when I leave here
Haruna Nangu last week
okay
Okasafa
yes what is a man for said they are manipulating the system.
Yes, I'll call him because for parents to call you and talk about those things and papa and I make us say but I can almost stick my neck out. Say the Haruna that I know
96.3
and yes sir any pass Sunday but the Haruna that I know is principled na mini say obesa and say often into form ministry then omuka say omba abolish double track and omotima they can't because they say the hugeness of nipa na economy so oka say abolish here then we have to increase the class sizes almost double teacher for no, they can't do that. Only baby crowd classroom one track. And the one you double tracker for the time being, you can't then absorb the huge numbers. And the pragmatism and the dictating what government did at the time until we're able to build sufficient numbers. And just we will say private schools should have system view. What I say, and we should look at that. Maybe another thing that I may want to talk about a bit. Now make women banking in Yemania. Say Jay Mogazo about 30% of ministers on the cabinet. Women and cabinet in Nipa more a man of Nipo. They say about 10%. Was it 30%, 10%? Akufo-Addo. When Akufo-Addo women ministers are on the cabinet. Sheila Yoko Buki. Sisi Adapa. Afole. How Yakubu. How Kumsin? How Kumsin? Hajia. The first time I'm making. Hajia Otiku Jaba. Afisa. On fi ho na Joseph Baye na Cynthia Morrison and so baho. And then we had this number of Emma system lately affiliates and Baye. And I think John also yes, overall appointment of into government in India, we have competition now, it comes to about 21% or so. But it's still below the 30%. But 30% the cabinet and so the okay. Okay, say yeka free senior high. So now say omuka so ombi sikana free supply of food nefi buffer stock. I know. Then and